All right, I guess, are we going to move into a break?
I think we've got another game up ready if you're down for it.
All right, I guess I can cast one more game of StarCraft just because that last one was so darn quick.
Well, lucky for you, we've actually got a different matchup here yet again.
Oh, sick. TVP.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's going to be Zero versus Aeis. Zero being our lone Terran player here today. He's trying to prove that Moss is not the only relevant Terran.
Is he proving it so far?
I don't know. He's been having a rough time in a round robin, currently sitting in 7th place with 3 losses.
Unfortunate. But we are in the lobby currently.
Yep.
So we will be moving into the next game quite shortly, ladies and gentlemen.
And Coda looking to be our map here, and we're going to be loading into it, but hopefully not taking too long. The players here, they don't have the AMD R7 series SSDs in their computer, so load times, they're a bit long.
Oh, I see what you did there. Little subtle shout out to the sponsors.
Yep.
Well, AMD, the Radeon memory sponsor, they're a pretty big part of kind of what we do here at ESChamp. They've really been backing us recently. So, yeah, we got to give out the sponsor shout-outs. You know, they keep us afloat. They keep us breathing that air, eating that food, sleeping under, you know, with, you know, sheds over our head, stuff like that.
Yep. Wow. Going to be getting into Coda yet again here for this game. Going to be spawning on top of our red Terran. From Deadly Gaming, it is Zero.
And of course, on the other side of the map, our Protoss player in the teal, it's Aeis. At least I hope it's Aeis.
It is Aeis.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Not the Aesis apparently is how it's pronounced. When
Aeis.
I found that out yesterday. I'm just like, come again? Are you sure?
Yeah. I just say Aeis because AE normally makes A. Evan is. Is.
That is correct.
Indeed it is.
All right, well, nothing special going on. Zero just, of course, building a supply depot. So we'll see if he moves into a fast command center first or if he wants to go towards the kind of the barracks tech route. I don't anticipate, you know, a very fast gas.
So far, yeah, I'd have to agree. Not really going to be too fast of a gas, and even if he does, probably not going to go for the Reaper, I'd say.
Well, you may be eating your own words as he does go for the early refinery. So, Leo, what's going on, man? I thought you were the analysis caster.
Well, you know, these Terrans, they all have their different styles. I haven't actually seen Zero in a while. The last time would have to be the last TorCraft, but that was 3 months ago, so it's been a bit.
Dang.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
Do you come here often?
I don't think he does, because Zero isn't from Mississauga, from as far as I know.
Okay. Here's something important to note. Zero, he isn't doing any sort of block off. Ooh.
Checking for a pylon, maybe?
Maybe. I thought he was actually going to make like a proxy factory or some sort of thing like that. Here's the important thing. The prop, it scouts the refinery.
Yep. And you'll see it's a Reaper on the way. Coda, there's only really one entrance point. Sure, you can come from the natural, but it's a little more difficult to do it from there, as you've got to come all the way around. And that gives them just so much more time to prepare the defenses. Our Protoss player probably just going to wait up for the Cybernetics core, get a Mothership core, and then he'll be safe versus the Reaper.
Yeah. StarCraft, a game of inches, and knowing that Reaper's going to come and having a few extra seconds to prepare can mean all the difference between losing 1 probe and 0, or even more than that.
Indeed. And looks like we've got a probe out here.
What are you doing, sneaky probe? You're thinking about building a pylon or a proxy Stargate.
Oh. It looks like nothing. It just wants to have the nice view of the sand and that little bush thing.
It's a quasi watchtower.
Yeah.
And there is a Nexus though on the way for Aeis. The Reaper though moves in. Doesn't really do too much damage, but I mean that speed. All right, there's your Mothership already doing some damage to the Reaper, and that'll force it away for the time being. Let's not forget that Reaper, he can just heal up if he's out of combat for a little bit. So I'm wondering if he can get any damage actually done with that Reaper, but it was scouted pretty early, so it doesn't look like it will be able to accomplish too much.
And plus, also, you know, with the Mothership car out, and it's even just on patrol here, it'll eventually just catch the Reaper. And, yeah, it's not going to be able to do too much, but it'll be an active scout, and that's always nice to have. You can keep an eye on what your opponent's going to be doing, and just constantly being in the know is definitely a boon in the real-time strategy games.
Absolutely. I'd say key, if anything.
Indeed.
Well, the command center finishing up for 0. I'll quickly morph that into an orbital command. And he has finished his factory, now moving into the starport. So I do imagine we'll probably see some early medevac play.
Reaper still trying to poke in and out wherever it can. 0 kills, though, and might be the first kill for Aeis, though. Does want to keep its life.
And he has that Stalker out, which will make it a little bit harder for this Reaper to escape next time. And probably all for the best, considering that Aeis is starting to put down some of his tech structures, and he doesn't want that to get easily scattered by the Reaper.
Yep. Both a Twilight Count. Oh.
Ooh, I like it. He's putting the robotics almost in plain sight while hiding the Twilight Council. So, Salil, what do you think he's going to do with this Twilight Council? Is he going to go blank? Is he going to go for like Dark Templar? What do you think is the most probable thing to happen from this?
Well, doesn't look like I even need to guess. A Dark Shrine gets thrown down right away. I was going to say for the Dark Templar is he has been banking up a lot of gas. He hasn't been spending it. If he was going to go for the blink, you would have had 3-4 Stalkers already out by now. But the Dark Templar, they're probably a good choice. You normally don't expect that too early on, and that pylon is rather close to the natural expansion. We don't have detection either.
Yeah. I mean, okay, there we go. He's building a missile turret. So.
Yeah.
He will be safe against any potential air threats, which, of course, well, I eat my own words as I see a Warp Prism in production. So that could be used against that, I suppose.
Yep.
And also, I did get to spot a Widow Mine at the natural expansion in the mineral line.
Yep, there is one indeed. Though there's no detection here quite yet.
So, I mean, even if it's scanned, maybe if 0 isn't paying too much attention, the DT may die, but, you know, take a lot of SCVs with him.
Yeah.
Kamikaze style. Almost like a Baneling, almost.
Almost. Oh, Warp Prism actually does just barely get scouted by the medevac.
He saw that. The medevac moved over that way for a second.
Yeah.
And Aeis, does he have enough to actually defend against this? That's the real question.
He's only got those 2 Stalkers and a Mothership Core. The Mothership Core does have almost full energy, though.
He needs to micro those Stalkers. Doesn't want to lose them. One will go down. The second one should fall. No. It's okay.
Just barely enough time to get out alive there. And these Marines trying to be right on the edge here, get any damage in that they possibly can.
That's really annoying. And if he micros the Stalker at all, he'll end up losing it. The DT is coming into the main base. They will be scouted, but they will be able to do a good amount of damage regardless. Yeah. Ouch. This is already doing more damage than the Marines are. And if he really wants to, he can quickly take out that missile turret.
Yeah. I think that might be the move here, but it looks like, nope, he's going to keep trying to go for those SCVs. Looks like the Marines, they're going to get piled up into that medevac, head back home. Warp Prism going to be picking up the remaining Dark Templar, trying to fly away. And will we be getting a refill on the Dark Templars for that Warp Prism? That's my question.
I would like to see Ace send a Dark Templar to the natural expansion at this point, just because I don't believe there's any detection there still. He may have already, and as we can see, there are a lot of weak SCVs in the area. But how many workers did he end up losing from this? That's the real question. 19!
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty much a worst case scenario.
Yeah, and even just looking at the worker counts, 55 probes to 30 SCVs. Sure, you've got mules, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think.
Ouch. And in fact, just kind of flies next to the Warp Prism, and it immediately moves in.
Oh,
but there are a good amount of Marines there. Keeping 0 honest, that's for damn sure.
That is true. More pylons going to be going down, it seems. And Dark Templar just... This is actually the only path that 0 can take by ground. So I actually like having this Dark Templar here. Allows you to catch units, and it's cloaked, so it's kind of like an observer that can kill things.
Cloaked observer that can kill things. I guess it doesn't have any detection either.
That's true. Doesn't have that.
All right, well, I feel like 0, he may end up getting desperate here. Oh, that Dark Templar, filling it. I think it should have ran away as soon as it started slashing, but at least forcing out one scan, so not entirely useless. I am a little bit concerned, Aeis. He doesn't actually have a huge army. He's been doing a lot of teching, getting the Thermal Lance upgrade for the Colossus. But with one already out, and those Stalkers there that we didn't see before, I think he's A-okay.
Yeah.
He's just peachy.
Well, we've got more Dark Templars coming into the space, but there's a bunker with 4 Marines here.
Wow.
With a missile turret as well, so his main is pretty much rock solid in terms of defense right now.
Yeah, there's going to need to be a lot more than that being brought over. Oh, Stim Pack! It will survive. Very close, the DT. Not even able to finish off the tech lab, but at least, you know, look at how many units Aeis is kind of keeping in Zero's base. Oh no! The Medivacs! They're getting sniped. One goes down, the second one will fall as well. After losing the SCVs and those 2 Medivacs.
This is just not going Zero's way right now. These Stalkers, with the Colossus and an Immortal as well, going to be marching on down south. And with no Medivacs, you will not be able to stim. He's only got 2 Marauders as well. Oh, well, 6 Marauders as well. But even 6 Marauders versus so many Stalkers and a Colossus and an Immortal, that's going to be a very uphill battle.
He needs all of the SCVs at his natural, I feel. And let's not forget there's pylons nearby. He's warping in units onto the high ground with the Warp Prism. This is Aeis' game to win.
Indeed. We've got a Dark Templar giving the high ground vision as well. 2 Colossi now, and honestly, the more time that Aeis keeps Zero in his natural, this just makes it even easier for him as he can get more units in, and Force Field's going to be going down. The Bio, they're kind of scrambling right now, Whiplash.
This could be it. The Stalkers, they're not being taken down by the Marauders. Meanwhile, excellent use of the Colossi to just quickly snipe off those SCVs, trying to repair the bunkers. And when you are caught into a small place like this, easy for you to just, you know, use your AoE advantage on the units. Look at those SCVs. They're taking up a lot of damage, but still, I mean, even if the Terran player is able to hold off this attack, which it doesn't look like he's able to do with the reinforcements from that War Prism, the Zealots coming in to help finishing off those units, I think it's just a little bit too much. We should see GG at any point here as the natural command center, that's going to fall. The final SCVs from the main base trying to help out. It doesn't seem to be enough to really help make this defense worth it at this point. And there's the GG from Zero. Well played by Aeis. The Dark Templar ended up working out perfectly.
It did indeed. And also the fact that he was able to keep that War Prism alive for so long allowed him to just send in so many more Dark Templars than just the initial 2.
Yeah.
And just the continued harassment on the worker line is what really let Aeis win that. Again, at one point, it was 55 probes to 30 SAVs. That is a huge difference to have about 10 minutes into the game. And being that far behind, it's pretty difficult to come back.
Very, very difficult. And yeah, just once again, the Dark Templar, they did absolute work. They were fantastic. Yeah. And also the sniping of the 2 Medivacs as well with the Stalkers when they came in, and Zero was trying to be a little aggressive, trying to, you know, maybe get back in the game, making an aggressive play, totally backfired on him. Yeah. And I think losing those 2 Medivacs was really the big prompt for the attack to, you know, move. And I think maybe with the Medivacs he would have had a bit of a better chance of defending. He still could have ended up falling, but I think that was the kind of, you know, the final thing to really, you know, tip it over the edge as far as the favor Aeis was concerned.
Yeah. Well played to them, and of course the pool will continue to go on, but I think we're going to be taking a quick break, and I think Endersword might be hopping on back with me. Yep. Thank you for casting with me, Whiplash.
Hey, no problem, man. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. And yeah, so we're going to be going to a quick 2-minute break, and then we should be back with Believe versus Samuel up next.